Our transmission operators need to plan for where the electricity is going to come from, where it needs to go, and how they're going to get it there. Once they've developed better plans, they start to do the engineering to figure out how to make those connections. Finance comes in to pay for it, and then they go out and actually build it.
For a long time in this region, energy efficiency using less has been a key resource to meeting future load growth. It's been less because of the policies, but more the prices of some of these renewable technologies have come down so much that they're cost competitive. The Council's current power plan is definitely the first time we started to see a big shift. We were building renewables to meet policies more so than to meet loads. And it was the first time that we were really feeling limited on other resources that we could build.
We must make it easier, faster, and less expensive to build housing of all kinds.
It's worse than what they think. They might be underestimating how quick and how easy it's going to be to make some of the changes that are needed.
I'm signing an executive order immediately following this speech, directing state agencies to review all regulations that impact housing, permitting, and construction.
They're saying all the right things, and I really appreciate that. I just don't think they understand how bad the problem is.
The transmission lines are the highway system for our electricity, and now we need to get back into the building mode. Our transmission operators need to plan for where the electricity is going to come from, where it needs to go, and how they're going to get it there. Once they've developed better plans, they start to do the engineering to figure out how to make those connections. Finance comes in to pay for it, and then they go out and actually build it.
For a long time in this region, energy efficiency using less has been a key resource to meeting future load growth. It's been less because of the policies, but more the prices of some of these renewable technologies have come down so much that they're cost competitive. The Council's current power plan is definitely the first time we started to see a big shift. We were building renewables to meet policies more so than to meet loads. And it was the first time that we were really feeling limited on other resources that we could build.
TVW is proud to announce that our show Washington to Washington has won an Emmy Award. Our program on the fentanyl crisis won this prestigious award in the public affairs category. This emotional episode tracks the emergence of fentanyl and its devastating effects here in Washington and across the country, as well as examines what our leaders are doing about it. Watch the fentanyl crisis on TVW or anytime at tvw.org.
Here we are in South Cle Elum, Roslyn Cemetery, and this is the final resting place for Doug Monroe. An incredible American hero, young man in the United States Coast Guard, received the Congressional Medal of Honor. I just can't say enough things about him. Talk about bravery. The Marines were landing at Guadalcanal. Doug was ferrying them ashore in the landing craft. The mission did not go well. The Japanese enemy had fortified the beach much beyond our capabilities, and the Marines had to turn around to try to get off the beach. As they did, they were being mowed down in the water by the Japanese machine gunners. Doug ran his landing craft between the machine gunners and the Marines to save their lives. He gave his own life to save the Marines in the water. He received the Congressional Medal of Honor posthumously, and he truly is an American hero.
The American Legion Band. Aren't they good? Is it 11? Ladies and gentlemen, whoop, I just turned the mic off. That doesn't work very well. If you would please rise, if you can, for the presentation of colors by Troop 9207 of Scouting America. And please remain standing until after our national anthem.
Color guard, forward, march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, right, face. Color guard, prepare coast colors. Salute. Color guard, reform rank. Color guard, right, face. Color guard, forward, march.
2. And here to offer our invocation is Chaplain Lou Ann Harry of the Marine Corps League.
Internal source of strength and comfort. We lift our hearts in gratitude for those who have answered the call to serve, for Marines who held the line with Semper Fidelis courage, for soldiers of the Army who bore the burdens of endurance, for the sailors of the Navy who kept watch across the seas, for airmen of the Air Force who guarded the skies, and for the guardians of the Space Force who now stand watch beyond our atmosphere. Bless each veteran for its sacrifice, discipline, and love of country. Hold close those who carry wounds seen or unseen. Bring healing to bodies and minds, peace of restless nights, and courage to face each new day. May families, friends, and communities find patience with understanding and the resources they need to walk alongside them. We remember with reverence those who gave the last of the full measure devotion. Keep them in memory, brighten our homes, halls, and let their example of service continue to inspire injustice, compassion, and unity. Grant wisdom to the leaders, caregivers, and faithful fellowships to all of that who have served. Help us honor veterans, not only in words, but in deeds, by meeting needs, easing burdens, protecting dignity, and preserving the freedom they defend. Bind us together in gratitude and responsibilities so that the liberty, peace, and hope may flourish. May the road ahead be marked by healing, purpose, shared commitments to the common good. We ask this in humility and thanksgiving. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now, our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Hopefully you can understand everywhere. Can you hear and understand what I am saying? Yes? No? I'm Richard Kistler. I happen to be the co-chair of the Thurston County Veterans Council, and who, in cooperation with the WDVA, helped sponsor this event. First, would the members of the Thurston County Veterans Council please rise and be recognized? There's Larry and Scott. Anybody else there? Oh, yeah. Teresa and Catherine. Thank you. And the council owes a special debt of gratitude to a young lady named Heidi Audette from the WDVA. I believe she's up there somewhere. Heidi, where are you?
She's Heidi. Over here. On this side, sir.
Oh, there she is. Okay, there she is. Yeah, without Heidi's help, none of this would happen. Trust me. I would also like to introduce some special guests that we have in our presence tonight, this morning. I'll get it right here in a minute. And I'm really pleased to introduce them to you. First, on my left is Solomon Gilbert, the Deputy Director of the WDVA. And our constant attendee, our Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. And another constant attendee, our wonderful Lieutenant Governor, Denny Heck. And last but not least, to my left, is the Mayor of Olympia, Dante Payne. Now, the folks on my right, not quite as many. We have first the retired major from the United States Marine Corps, Craig Douglas. You'll be hearing from him in a little bit. And next to him is the Commandant of the United States Marine Corps League, Luann Harry. You heard from her before. She was our chaplain. And now a couple other special guests. I don't know their names, but without them, we couldn't have our cake. There are two representatives from Fran's Bakery who have provided the cake. Would you stand and be recognized, gentlemen? Now, you probably ask yourself, why the heck do we have a cake? Well, yesterday was the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. And I would like to say also that it is also our 250th anniversary of the United States Army and the United States Navy. All those three forces were formed before 1776. Cool, huh? Yeah. And some other special guests, they don't know they're being recognized, is the future of our country sitting up there from the Olympia Youth Chorus. And you can stand and be recognized if you would, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And I thank you all for being here. Now I'd like to recognize the real important people here. Would all veterans please stand and be recognized? I think they like you guys. And now, even more important, perhaps, to some, the spouses of veterans. You rise and be recognized. because without their support, none of us would be here, would we? All righty. As you know, today is the day to celebrate, and to help us celebrate, the governor has a proclamation, and Solomon Gilbert will read it for us.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. The State of Washington Veterans Day Proclamation. Whereas our state is home to more than 494,383 veterans, 56,000 active duty military personnel, 16,000 National Guard and Reserve members and their families. And whereas those who have served in the armed forces have continuously made vital contributions and sacrifices to maintain our freedoms and way of life. And whereas tens of millions of Americans have faithfully served in the United States Armed Forces over the past century, and whereas hundreds of thousands of Americans have made the ultimate sacrifice while serving in the armed forces during this time. And whereas our veterans understand the critical responsibilities carried by today's American service members, and whereas our veterans exemplify bravery, selflessness, willingly putting themselves in harm's way to defend the lives and liberty of others, and whereas our veterans continue to inspire us through their unwavering patriotism and enduring commitment to the ideals upon which the United States was founded, and whereas all Washingtonians must strive to maintain a state and country worthy of the profound love our veterans have demonstrated, and whereas more than a century ago, the guns of World War I fell silent at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, and through the Treaty of Versailles, formally ended the war on June 28, 1919. It was November 11, 1918, that came to symbolize the end of the war to end all wars. Now, therefore, Bob Ferguson, Governor of the State of Washington, does hereby proclaim November 11, 2025 as Veterans Day. In Washington, I urge all people in our state to acknowledge and honor the contributions of our veterans to the principles of democracy, individual freedom, and human rights. Signed this day, Governor Bob Ferguson. Thank you all.
And as you know, I got to test just one more time. Can you understand me now? Yes?
Get closer.
Get closer. Okay. As you know, today is a day to celebrate those among us who stepped up to serve our nation in the armed services. Please welcome members of the Olympia Youth Choir. Thank you. They will perform for you. How do you follow that? Well, I know who's going to try. Our wonderful Congresswoman, Marilyn Strickland.
How do I follow that? Thank you to the Olympia Youth Choir. Happy Veterans Day, everyone. My name is Marilyn Strickland, and I have the honor of representing the 10th Congressional District of Washington State. I am the daughter of a veteran, and like many of you here, I live in Washington State because my father was stationed at Fort Lewis. I first want to start by thanking the veterans for your service. And I know that we gather every year on one day, but please understand that my gratitude for you all extends every single day of the year, not just on one day. I also want to recognize the family members who are here, the spouses and the family members, because we understand that when someone makes a decision to serve, the family serves as well. So thank you to everyone here today. I thought about the comment made earlier about the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army, the U.S. Marine Corps, and the U.S. Navy. And I think about them being established in 1776. Now, you all know that we fought an American Revolutionary War because we wanted to escape the tyranny of a king. July 4th every year, when we celebrate the Declaration of Independence, that is our annual No King's Day. And the flag that you fought for, democracy, freedom, rights, freedom of speech, freedom to worship, all those things are so important and essential to who we are as a nation. As a member of Congress, I was proud to introduce the PACT Act, which will provide generations of veterans and their survivors with the care they need and deserve. Thank you. I also introduced the Families for Service Members and Their Families Act, which in the event of a tragedy and a loved one is lost while they are serving, we want to make sure that the insurance benefits that they receive stay in touch with what today's cost of living is. On top of that, we want to make sure that those who are serving now get COLA adjustments and that you get the benefits you deserve. We know that these are trying times in the United States, but I think about the experience of my family as a proud Army brat. My father joined the Army when it was segregated, and President Truman desegregated the troops because he knew that if we were going to have the strongest military in the world, we had to include all people and ensure that every person who serves is treated with respect and dignity. 40% of the people who are enlisted who serve in the military are minorities. And we think about what this country represents, its present, its future, and what our greatest strengths are. Our strengths are the fact that we come from many different places, but united, we are one. We are all Americans. We're all proud of this country. And I just want to say again, thank you to every person who's ever worn the uniform. Thank you for your service. And let us not, as Americans, ever lose sight of what that flag represents. Thank you very much, everyone, and happy Veterans Day.
You trying to steal my stuff?
I'm trying to steal his notes.
She was trying to take my notes. Anyway, thank you, Congresswoman Strickland. We appreciate the fact that you're here today. I know how busy you've been in the last few weeks. Now, if you would please welcome Jack Craig Douglas of the United States Marine Corps League.
Thank you. Some of us get older and you have to put on reading glasses, so my state commandant won't be upset with me there. So on a little more fun note, that's when they call in the Marine Corps, when things need to get done. As some of the members in the audience can attest to, there are only two branches of the service. That would be the Army and the Navy. The Air Force is a corporation. The Marine Corps is a cult. So we're going to get you behind the curtain, and we're going to be able to look at what we do when we have 250 years of service to our nation, older than our nation. So we're going to, both of the cakes up there are Marine Corps cakes. So I apologize to the Army, the Navy, even the Coast Guard, and Air Force. It's all right. That's how it is. It gets rough on these things when it is the 250th birthday. So we've got some different things we're going to talk about with the cake and what we do to be able to do the cake. But before we do that, I'd like to extend a gratitude to the Marine Corps Heritage Foundation for leading the national celebration of the Marine Corps' 250th anniversary. We'd also like to thank the American Bakers Association and the Retail Bakers of America for their partnership in coordinating the donation of our 250th birthday cake, with special thanks to the Franz Bakery for crafting this extraordinary tribute to our Marines' proud legacy. So hopefully you all will join us for cake here in just a little bit. So without further ado, I will get into what we traditionally do every single year for the Marine Corps. On November 1st, 1921, John A. Lejeune, the 13th Commandant of the Marine Corps, directed that the reminder of the honorable service to the Corps be published by every command to all Marines throughout the globe on the birthday of the Corps, since the Marines have contributed to distinguish themselves on many battlefields and foreign shores, in war and peace. On this birthday, the Corps, therefore, in compliance with the will of the 13th Commandant, Article 38, United States Marine Manual, edition of 1921, republished as follows. On November 10th, 1775, a Corps of Marines was created by the resolution of the Continental Congress. Since that date, many thousands of men have borne the name Marine. In memory of them, it is fitting that we, who are Marines, should commemorate the birthday of our Corps by calling to mind the glories of its long and illustrious history. The record of our Corps is one which will bear comparison with that of the most famous military organizations in the world history. During 90 of the 146 years of its existence, the Marine Corps has been in action against the nation's foes. From the Battle of Trenton to the Argonne, Marines have won foremost honors in war. In the long eras of tranquility at home, generation after generation of Marines have grown gray in war in both hemispheres. In every corner of the 7 seas that our country and its citizens might enjoy peace and security. In every battle and skirmish since the birth of our Corps, Marines have acquitted themselves with the greatest distinction, winning new honors on each occasion until the term Marine has come to signify that all that is highest in military efficiency and soldierly virtue. This high name and distinction of soldierly repute, we who are Marines today have received from those who have preceded us in the Corps. With it, we also receive from them the eternal spirit, which has animated our Corps for generation to generation and has been a distinguishing mark of the Marines in every age. So long as the spirit continues to flourish, Marines will be found equal to every emergency in the future as they have been in the past. And the men of our nation will regard us as worthy successors to the long line of illustrious men who have served as soldiers of the sea since the founding of our Corps. It is this inspiring message of our 13th Commandant that has left its mark on the hearts and minds of all Marines. By deed and act, from Guadalcanal to Iwo Jima, from Incheon to the Korean Armistice, in our interventions from Lebanon to the Dominican Republic, and from the opening battles of Vietnam to the Mayaguez rescue, Marines have continued to epitomize those qualities which are their legacy, the success which they have achieved in combat, and the faith they have borne in peace will continue. The Commandant and our many friends have added their hearty praise and congratulations to this, our 250th birthday. So that would be the message from General Lejeune, Camp Lejeune, as they now put an R in there. We just didn't know for about 100 years. Is what we call it. That is our premier base on the East Coast. So after we do the reading of the 13th Commandant's message, we will go into the present Commandant's message. 250 years ago, before our nation declared its independence, a small group of men gathered in Philadelphia and formed a Corps of Marines. From that moment, our story has been bound to the story of America itself. A quarter of a millennia later, Marines remain at the center of our nation's defense, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to uphold and trust placed in us since 1775. Across centuries, Marines have fought on distant shores, in desperate battles, earning reputation for discipline, toughness, and valor. From the Revolution to the World Wars, from Chapultepec to today's operations across the globe, every generation has proven worthy of the title Marine. They secured liberty, defended allies, and carried forward the promises of a free nation and a free world. We are the heirs of that legacy, and we are its stewards. This anniversary reminds us that our standards are the foundation of our Corps. Honor, courage, and commitment are not abstractions, but the code that binds us to one another and all that went before. Every Marine and every climb and place must hold true to these values. The conflicts ahead will demand nothing less. I could not be prouder of the Marines I am serving with today. At home, at sea, across the globe, you carry forward our proud traditions with skill and ferocity. It is your discipline, initiative, and fighting spirit that anchor our Corps. The battles of the next 250 years will challenge us in new ways, but I have no doubt we will prevail. Happy birthday, Marines. Okay, so the Marine Corps gets a little serious when it comes to cutting cake. People might understand and be like, how can such a fighting organization be all up on cutting cake? But we make sure that we honor our people that came before us and that we do not forget the traditions and the battles that we have fought in different places. People ask about how did this all start? So if we go back, and this will definitely make more the Marines in the crowd a lot happier. So we go back to Philadelphia at Tun Tavern. So the Marine Corps was born in a bar. So you may think you have really good liberty, but you don't have a story like that. We started in a bar. So at Tun Tavern, which is also the place where the very first Masonic Lodge was at, and it was also where Benjamin Franklin, when he was a colonel, raised his first battalion to go fight in the Revolutionary War. So Tun Tavern has a lot of history there in Philadelphia. They are in the middle of going ahead and reenacting and making a new Tun Tavern to put there on the original site. If you want to go to the current Tun Tavern, you have to go to the Marine Corps Museum there in Quantico, Virginia, and they will let you go in there and you can participate in things that were secured in the very first amphibious assault. So if we go back to 1775, that very first guy in there, Samuel Nichols, he had to raise 2 battalions. So he raised those 2 battalions, and then he led them personally in the very first amphibious assault in Nassau, Bahamas. So, because I love my Army guys, and I see them all the time there, did 8 tours in combat. So I've participated quite a bit with the Army guys there. So when we went in there, the things that we secured were gunpowder and rum. So that's just saying. That's a pretty good history to start with there. So fast forward 250 years, and we're still doing the same thing, going on to foreign shores and seizing them, kicking in the door, so we can take forth whatever we want to have. So that's what the Marine Corps does. That's what we've been doing. And I'm glad everybody is here to be able to participate with us on the 250th cake cutting ceremony. We've got one more guest speaker that we're going to go into, and then I will go through and read the cake cutting ceremony, and we will have crowd participation because that will make it much more fun. All right. Thank you.
So if you are following along in your program, I'm going to deviate a little bit because we have those youngsters over there probably getting a little antsy. I would like to have the Olympia Youth Chorus perform their second song at this point. Thank you. Aren't they good? They are good. And just by the way, I'll do a little commercial right now if you don't mind. The American Legion Band is all volunteer, and the Olympia Youth Chorus is also funded through donations from the public. So if you have it in your heart or in your pocketbook that you could spare $1 or $2 for the band or the chorus, you can access their websites. It's the olympiayouthchorus.com, that makes sense, and the American Legion Band. I think that's a .com too, isn't it? Facebook page. Okay, Facebook page, American Legion Band. So anyway, they could use a little support, as we all could these days, huh? Anyway, now get back to our guest speakers. I am pleased to introduce a man who doesn't really need an introduction. He's been here consistently, year after year, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and he's been our Lieutenant Governor for at least 2 years now, huh? 5, he says. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Governor Denny Heck.
Thank you. Note to self, never, ever follow the spectacular Olympia Youth Choir, nor a Marine Corps major whose speaking theme is guns and rum. Thank you, Major. I don't know if you've noticed, but we seem to be having a pretty tough time coming together as Americans of late. All the more reason why I am glad to be here today. Because when all is said and done, if there is one thing we can agree on, it is this. We honor those who have put on the uniform on behalf of America. We honor those who are willing to put themselves in harm's way and to personally sacrifice and to be a part of something bigger than themselves, which frankly is all too rare today. So today is a time to honor those who step up and step forward, remembering that for 2 generations, all our armed services are all voluntary. They who wear the uniform are definitely those who did not step backward when volunteers were solicited. Yes, they do that for love of country, for the American ideal of democracy, and this now 249-year-old grand experiment in self-rule. This audacious idea that humanity is capable of governing itself. And we are. But all this is really saying is that they do that for you and for me and for their neighbors and for their family, for their community, for their state, for their nation, and our future. We honor them today for that. And we honor them. We honor them with the sobering knowledge that today is Veterans Day, originally known as Armistice Day, the day to end all wars. And we know that is not the lesson of history. So, for all our sons and daughters past, for all our sons and daughters future, we give honor and respect and humble gratitude. Thank you for your kind attention. We'll see you next year.
Okay. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Heck. We appreciate the fact that you take the time to be with us. Now to celebrate your branch of the military, the American Legion Band will perform the Armed Forces Medley. When you hear your song, please stand and be recognized. to get my program so I know where I am here. Well, let's see. We're at the point where I would ask Luann Harry to come and give our benediction.
And the cause of freedom. We thank you for the Marines, ever faithful, steadfast, for the soldiers who have stood strong through every trial, for the sailors who have guarded our seas and brought aid to distant shores, for the airmen who have soared through the skies to protect and defend, and for the guardians who now watch over us in vastness of space. Bless them, Lord, those who have worn the uniform and those who wear it still. Grant peace to those who have borne the scars of battle, comfort to families who have endured the long separations and loss, and strength to all of us who continue to serve this great nation. May we, the beneficiaries of the courage and the sacrifice, honor them not only with our words today, but with our actions tomorrow, living as citizens worthy of the freedoms they have preserved. Watch over our nation, O God. Guide us through the paths of peace, and let your light continue to shine upon all who have served beneath the flag of the United States. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
All right, Craig, you want to lead us through the cake cutting ceremony?
Go ahead and grab your seats. All right, so continue on the theme that we have going on. We're getting ready to play with swords now. So young people, if you want to come in, that would be rum, gunpowder, and now swords. So it's a good gig. So to have participation here so we can bring everybody together, I need all Marines or people that had served in the Marine Corps that are, we'll start it at 50. Everybody that's at over 50, that's over 50, please raise your hand. All right, over 60? Over 70? Do I have any 80? 81? Is anybody over 90? No? 81? Oh, 90? All right, we're, okay, 85. 84? 84? 80, he's 88. All right, anybody older than 88? Come on down, young man. It is time to eat your cake. So please go to the cake table. Sir, can you please tell us when you came in? What year did you come in? Keeping on that theme with those that are younger than 50. Hands in the air. Do I have any Marines that are younger than 50? Okay, come on, a 60-year-old real quick. We will not go any further. Carry others to be our youngest Marine president. Everybody just keep in mind. sake of brevity, the oldest Marine present will be helping cut the cake. He's 88 years old. We will not be saying how young the youngest Marine is, so I can not be shot today. Again, one Purple Heart was enough. All right, traditionally, regardless of location, Marines pause and observe our birthday by sharing a cake and usually a holiday meal. A sword is used to cut the cake as a reminder that we are a band of warriors committed to carrying the sword so that our nation may live in peace. The first piece of cake is presented to the oldest Marine present, signifying the honor and respect according to the experience and seniority. The oldest Marine today was born, is 88 years old. Passes the piece of cake to the youngest Marine present. Just as for the years of our experience, Marines have nurtured and led young Marines that will fill our ranks and renew our corps. The youngest Marine present this evening was born in a date that I'm not allowed to say. She's got her cake. All right. On this day, I noticed more than one branch of services, 250th, the Navy. Thanks for all the great rides that you took me. We will also be participating in eating some cake. The Army, you're also 250 years old. You are actually older than all of us. So in that, and the Air Force, which is not 250 years old, but they did split from the Army 8th Air Corps, and we do appreciate all of their support that we have. So with that, so we can recognize the other veterans, do I have, we'll start with the Army because you are the oldest. So seniority, as Command Sergeant Major over here will tell me, has its freaking advantages. So Army, do we have anybody 90? 88? 89? 79. All right, do we have anybody older than 79, Army? Oh, right beside you. Look at that, friendly fire. So, how old are you, sir? 86, Army. Anybody beat 86? Go up the stairs, sir, because you're going to be next in line to go get some cake. Senior. Let me guess. We'll start at 85, maybe. Do we have anybody over 85? Anybody over 80? Got two? 81, 82, 83, 81? You're 80? Looks like you're the winner. Please go get you some cake. United States Air Force. Do we have anybody over 80? Anybody over 70? We got a 70. Anyone else? How old are you, sir? 72 is the winner for the Air Force. Please go right ahead. So we'll go to the Coast Guard. And one of Washington's own, also a Medal of Honor recipient that we celebrate every year with the Marine Corps because he was doing amphibious landings with us. So Douglas Monroe, we really do appreciate the Coast Guard. So I'll give a shout out to them in case we don't have anybody else here. Coast Guard, do I have a Coast Guard in attendance? Oh, behind me. Oh, with the band? Even better. Do we have anybody here from the Space Force? And we are serving cake and the Space Force didn't show up. So I don't want to hear anything bad about the Space Force. We're giving out free cake and they didn't show up because they got a job to do and work to do. So they are there doing their job. So I appreciate it, the Guardians. Karen, did the Coast Guard get their cake yet? Did the Coast Guard get their cake yet?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. You got more stuff?
No. Thank you.
That's it? I'll let you close it out then.
How do you want the rest of the people to get their cake?
All right, I appreciate the other branches of service going up there and having to eat Marine Corps cake, which Franz did a good job. So it wasn't us making the cake, it was Franz Bakery, so it was probably at least edible compared to what some of the stuff that we have. Normally we're deployed and we have to open up a MRE and pretend to make icing, and we do have a cake cutting ceremony even in the middle of combat. We will pause and recognize the oldest and youngest Marine there, and then we press on with our battles, which has been done several times in the past. So, Heidi, did everybody get their cake? All right, I'm going to turn this back over to Dick so he can tell you all how to get in an orderly line, and we will go from there. And so the command sergeant major doesn't get mad at me. What do you say? Officers eat last.
Put me in a spot. Officers don't eat last. Not in the Navy, they don't. Anyway, I don't know how to do this. How about we just start with the folks on the stairs over there? I'm sorry? I can't hear you. Oh, shoot.
We have to retire colors.
Color guard, we need to retire the colors, if you would, please. All rise, please.
Color guard, forward, march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, right, face. Color guard, choose colors. Color guard, reform rank. Color guard, last space. Color guard, forward march.
Two. All right, let's try that again. We'll try to be orderly about this. How about the folks who are sitting on the stairs there? Those things are hard. I don't know how you sat there for a whole hour. You get your cake first if you sat on the stairs. So go ahead this side. And we'll follow that, I think, with our performance people, the band. If they want to jump in line to get cake, you'll be next. And while they're doing that, once again, I would like to thank everybody for being here. A special thanks to Congresswoman Strickland, to Lieutenant Governor Denny Heck, and everybody else. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Governor Strickland from Ohio?
I'm not. I used to be a pastor.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I went to school with his kids.